You're under arrest. You're under arrest.
Due to lack of evidence, the defendants John Cooper and Bradley Parker are hereby acquitted of all charges.
Sir, this is outrageous.
Detective Brian, please calm down. Have a seat. Look, I'm sorry. We'll work this out. I know you're burning out yourself going after Gary's killers, but I have been given new orders. I'm assigning you a new case to work upon. I'm assigning Gary's case to Victor. The new case is about...
Sir, this is absolute bullshit. There's no one more motivated than me to solve Gary's murder. I will not let his killers go unpunished.
I know. But this case has gotten to you. You have grown too attached to this case, detective. Please, let it go.
Sir, but they had motive. They had already gone to jail because of Gary, and he was going to put them away for life. Sir, there's enough evidence to prove that John Cooper and Bradley Parker are guilty. And then there's this other unidentified suspect. I need to find him. Why are you taking this case away from me?
Enough, detective. Please calm down. I understand your feelings. The order has come down and I don't have the power to overrule them.
Sir, please. You cannot take this case away from me. One day, John Cooper and Bradley Parker walk out. The next day, Gary ends up with 2 bullets in his head. How can you, of all people, not see the connection?
Hear me out. I know this looks like a cover-up, but I got my orders. You know what? I'm running for mayor's post, and I promise you that Gary's death will never go unpunished. Meanwhile, go get cracking on the new case and keep me posted.
Okay, sir. If you say so.
No! Don't kill me! No!
So, we just canvassed the area. An eyewitness claims that she saw a red sedan leaving the area at around the time of the 911 call.
Did you check for the traffic cam footages?
We're trying to get the traffic cam footage, but unfortunately, there have been no traffic cams in the vicinity. So, nothing so far. CSU is dusting the place for prints. I'll let you know if we get anything.
Keep me posted. I told you to wait for some time and you go and do this?
I didn't do anything.
Witnesses say they saw a red sedan fleeing the scene of the crime. There is a red sedan parked in your driveway. You have motive.
I didn't do it, sir.
I'm innocent, sir. Believe me, I had nothing to do with those 2 murders. I was at home at that time.
Can anyone corroborate that?
I was home alone, sir. Somebody must have seen me.
I'm sorry, detective. This has gone too far. Turn around. You are under arrest for the murders of John Cooper and Bradley Parker.
How have you been?
We've been good. I'm so sorry about the killings. It's all gone south after Gary's murder, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Someone wanted these 2 guys dead and me in jail. That's exactly what happened.
What do you mean?
I'm innocent, Kurt. I'm being framed. The cops are not even looking at anybody else. There were no new leads on Gary's case for a month. Then John called and said that he was ready to reveal everything about the case. He said that he wanted to meet me in person today, but someone ensured that he couldn't.
That does sound extremely suspicious.
The commissioner took me off the case. He said that the order came from high up. Gary and I were the best of friends. He took me off the case like I was a freaking nobody.
There were 3 suspects in Gary's murder. Are John and Bradley that well connected to be let off this easily?
Not as far as I know. Which means that the 3rd suspect is the key here. Well connected. Untouchable.
You should be careful. If he's willing to kill to keep himself safe, you might be next.
I'm not worried about my death, Kurt. I have a favor to ask of you. That's why I called you here.
You bought us up and trained us as cops. You know we'll do anything for you.
I want you to dig into the case. See what you can find. Be careful.
Hello, Kurt. Hello?
So what are we doing today?
The commissioner himself shut down the case due to some higher power. We need to find out who that is, but he is too well hidden.
How do we find the guy who's so well hidden?
I don't know. Let's run financials on the two victims. See if anything pops.
Why don't you do that? Ballistics just came back. Single bullet, 9mm. Gunshot wound to the head. The gun belonged to one Michael Smith. He died 2 years ago, but his body was never recovered. 911 call came in around 9:05 p.m. which means that should be our kill zone. Now Bradley was seen leaving his apartment around 8:30 by the doorman, and John was seen leaving his office at 8 o'clock, which means we need to figure out where they went in that time zone.
I wanted to phone the cops and see if anything pops. And let's dig into the list, see what we can do. I look into Gary's past cases. Maybe he arrested all three of them at some point and they just took revenge.
Alright, I'll talk to friends and family, see what they know. I also look into these two victims' time in jail. If they planned something beforehand, there must be some evidence of it. Let's get going.
I just found something. Week after week, in prison, inmates are allowed to make collect calls, meaning the person at the other end is supposed to pay for the charges. John made weekly calls to the same number. Only the person at the other end refused to pay for the charges. Until a week back. Listen to this.
How's your daughter?
She's okay. How are Charlie and Mike?
They are fine.
Is it just me or did that sound very suspicious? John did not have any children. He's unmarried. Why was he being asked about his daughter?
Exactly. Charlie and Mike are alphabetic military jargon. Mike stands for mission. John was communicating with somebody. This call must have been the go-ahead for the killing. The call came from this number. It's an untraceable burner phone.
Wait a minute. I have seen that number. A couple of hours after Gary's murder, Bradley made 3 calls to that number, each lasting only 10 seconds. So, that has to be our guy.
We need to find out who the guy is behind those calls. I spoke to friends and family. John and Bradley were the best of friends. There's no evidence of any third guy.
Wait, do you have the serial number of the burner phone? We could probably track it down and find where it was used.
Perhaps. Why don't you work on that? I'll run financials again. Till now it's come back clean. There's nothing in his credit card and bank account charges to indicate anything unusual is going on. I'll go through it again though.
Wait, listen to this. Bradley's phone was tapped immediately after the murders. I went through the conversations, but I could not find anything. That burner phone pinged off exactly 4 cell towers. Each time Bradley made those 3 calls, we should be able to triangulate the position. What the hell? This was the coffee shop right outside the precinct? Could it be Detective Brain?
Dude, back off. The man's like family. He raised us when we were kids at the academy. There were plenty of people in the coffee shop at the time. It could have been anyone.
Okay, let's pull the CCTV footage and see who was in the coffee shop at that time.
It fits the bill. A story that makes sense. Someone on the inside was keeping the victims informed of Gary's case against them. Gary got too close. They killed Gary and shut the case down. Alright, I just got footage for the entire day. You should check this out. Forwarding it to the time of Bradley's call. That's the entrance of the precinct. There's still a minute before the call should come in.
My god. The commissioner did not cancel the case because the third suspect is very high up. He cancelled it because he himself is the third guy.
Dear God, What do we do now? This is not enough evidence to convict the commissioner. And if we arrest him without evidence, it'll surely cost us our jobs.
We need to be sure that it's the commissioner himself. Let's pull up the commissioner's financials.
We need to be very careful. Just yesterday, the man announced he was running for mayor. He might be willing to kill to protect himself.
Okay, it's late. Let's start tomorrow morning.
Oh, Kurt, look at this. I just went through Bradley's financials again and I found something. There's a credit card here which was lying unused for a very long time. Only he started using it an hour before the murder. There's a charge here to a bar, which is just 5 minutes from the crime scene.
So, that must be the place where you went before the murder.
Yes, I think we should check it out. Let's go.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
I'm Detective Jason. This is Detective Kurt. We have some questions for you. Have you seen this man before?
Yes, sir. He's regular here. He and other guy come in very often.
Other guy? Is this him?
Yep, that's him.
Did they come here 2 days back in the night?
Yes, they came in at around 8:30. Stayed for an hour, ordered a couple of drinks. There was this guy who came in very shortly. They looked pretty rattled after he came. They left very shortly after he came.
Can you describe him?
He's 6 feet tall, wearing a black suit, brownish hair.
Brown hair? Is that him?
Yep, I remember the suit very well. Yeah, he's the guy.
It's the commissioner himself. He came here before the murder. Thank you. We have solid proof that the commissioner was here and he was talking to the suspects 5 minutes before the murder. There's CCTV there. We should be able to pull footage. Let's go.